President Trump's former campaign advisor, Michael Caputo, sounds off on Roger Stone's indictment. One America's Jack Posobiec has more from Washington.
We're very excited to welcome back to One America News former President Trump advisor, Michael Caputo. Michael, thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks for having me, Jack.
We're talking about investigations. We're talking about rule of law. And last question I wanted to ask you about, you and I saw each other here in D.C. recently, and it seems that the only person who's been convicted in much of this all is Roger Stone, a man who was convicted of a process crime for going before the House Intel Committee with Adam Schiff. Roger Stone gets prosecuted. Roger Stone gets found guilty by a D.C. jury, and yet nobody else even gets investigated.
It's really quite something. I mean, what we're looking at with Roger Stone is General Flynn times 8, right? Roger Stone has for decades been considered the foremost expert in Republican spin. We all know what spin is. It's part truth and part lies, but spin is the business of politics. And Roger Stone was one of the best at spin. There are Democrats who do it, there are Republicans who do it, and there are some who are proud to be called this. But Roger Stone is going to jail for spin. I'll concede that it's really dangerous to spin under oath in front of a congressional committee, of course. But they've criminalized the campaign of 2016. They've created a crime scene where politics resides today. And now spin is something that you may go to jail for.
Oh, we've seen the Trump White House enact pardons for crack dealers, for other people that have gone to jail for various crimes. It seems that, with Roger going to jail, he's a 67-year-old man. It doesn't really seem what the public interest would be served by putting a man like that behind bars.
I'm really concerned because in February, I guess it's February 4th, this judge, appointed by Barack Obama, talking about a sentencing and a verdict given by a Washington, D.C. liberal Democratic jury. This judge is going to decide that day on February 4th whether or not Roger Stone goes to jail immediately, even during an appeal, because they've managed to paint him as some kind of a mafia character. It's a caricature prosecution. They've turned Roger Stone, the Republican spinner, into the Godfather. And from my perspective, if the president doesn't think about this before that, we may see Roger Stone going to jail on February 4th. And to me, that's a travesty already in the making.
Now, some have said that if the president were to pardon Stone, that what he should do is wait until the impeachment inquiry is over or after the re-election. Do you have any thoughts on timing, even if he does decide to drop a pardon or at least a commutation?
I think the president should pardon Roger Stone right now on Twitter, if he's watching. Pardon him right now on Twitter. But from my perspective, from a political calculation, which a lot of this is, he is president of the United States, and he's surrounded by people who don't necessarily know or even like Roger Stone. When should the president do this? From my perspective, the typical presidential answer would be after the election. I get that. I understand that. But if they put Roger Stone in jail on February 4th, I can't tell you he'll survive it until then. Because the same people that put Roger Stone in jail have done some very serious things to other people that were in jail. And from my perspective, he's not safe.
Strong words. Michael Caputo, thank you so much for your expertise, for your insights, and for your passion. Roger's lucky to have a friend like you.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube. And call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.